Hello, everybody. Welcome to Bluebird and Bee Tarot. I am so happy that you are here so that we can get into what are your person's late night thoughts about you. What are those thoughts that during the day when things are busy, they are distracted, they can let those thoughts not penetrate. Those thoughts don't get through. But at night, it's a different story. When they're laying in bed, when it's dark, when guards are down, yes, that is when these thoughts break through. So what are those thoughts? That's what we want to get to the bottom of. So we have 3 piles to choose from today. And I do want to point out, so if you've watched other videos, you might know that Pepper, my dog, and I travel. So we are in a town in California right now called Temecula. It's like so cute. It's Old West. It's like a lot of nature. It's beautiful. I'll probably insert some B-roll right here so you can see. But we bought all of these stones yesterday. We, like Pepper earns the money. She's over here like, yeah, bring home that cheddar. But yet I bought all of these stones yesterday, the stones that we're choosing from and all of the tumble stones that are part of the set decor at the top at this really cool store that they have here called Lady of the Lake. And it's just like one of the coolest metaphysical shops that I have ever been in. So I wanted to give them a shout out because I bought all these stones here, but they have so many other kinds of cool things there that I've actually never even seen in other shops. So shout out to them. But let's get into the choices. So the first choice, pile 1, is Tarot of the Divine and this really beautiful chevron amethyst. Oh, for any dog lovers out there that just heard my dog Pepper jangle her collar, that may be an indication that pile 1 is for you. And also, so since we're talking about late night thoughts, the card that I'm going to show from each deck is the moon. So this is what the moon card looks like for Tarot of the Divine. Okay, and the second pile, so all of these tarot decks are titled Tarot of the something because I have a weird brain and stuff like that is fun and cool to me. So yes, pile number 2 is Tarot of the Lantern Path. And the stone is this really beautiful sunset sodalite. It's got a lot of really interesting markings on it. And this is what the moon card looks like for Tarot of the Lantern Path. Alrighty, and then the third pile is Tarot of the Cosmic Seed, and the stone is Bloodstone, and look how gorgeous the contrast of the colors is. I just love it. So gorgeous. All right, and then this is what the moon card looks like for Tarot of the Cosmic Seed. Alrighty, so I'm going to give you a couple minutes to choose your piles. If you need longer than the video gives you, go ahead and pause it and take that time to see where your intuition is drawing you. You can absolutely be drawn to more than one pile. That is more than okay. You can watch all 3 and see which one resonates with you the most. So yes, go ahead and choose your pile. Timestamps are below, and I will see you at your reading. Hello, pile 1. So if you chose the chevron amethyst or the Tarot of the Divine, then you have arrived at your reading. Let's dive into it. Spirit, tap me into what their person's, oh, that's too many, Spirit. Wow. Okay, so this person right away, I'm not going to take all of these because it's too many, but right away I'm seeing that this person has some shadow work and it might take some time for them to work through it. But Spirit, tap me into what pile one's person is thinking about them that's hard to face. What are pile one's person's thoughts about them that are triggering? What are they trying? And again, more came out. So this person has a lot of thoughts about you and they are trying really hard to distract themselves. Okay, pile one. There's a lot of interesting stuff happening here. First of all, I think it's interesting that these two cards which came out connected to each other are dream and awakening. So I think that that is one of the things that is causing them to try to push these feelings down and push these thoughts down. Is I think that they are afraid that this is too good to be true. This is a dream that they are going to awaken from. And what I honestly think is the core of it is they think that they are going to say something or do something that is going to cause this bubble to burst. I think they have imposter syndrome, honestly, pretty severely. When this Tangle card hit the board, the thing that popped into my mind is, oh, what a tangled web we weave. When first we, something to deceive. Anyway, lies, deception. And I don't think that they are lying in kind of a malicious way or in a way that they would understand that they are lying. But I feel like they're enjoying being in that initial kind of honeymoon phase where all you have seen is the carefully curated best parts of them. And I feel like there are things about them that they think would shatter the illusion, and they are wanting to be extremely careful not to let those parts show. I think you might like them better in their unvarnished state. That's the sense that I get. And I think that maybe they have gotten flashes of that sense as well. But I don't think they can trust it. I mean, that's such a big risk. That's such a big cliff to leap off of. Yeah, as it is, I feel like with this bear, they are very... First of all, I think with the protective aspects of the symbolism of the bear, they are extremely, yeah, I'm picturing like a dragon guarding their treasure. They are extremely protective about this image that they have portrayed. Maybe not even just to you. Maybe this is like on social media or something like that. This image of, yeah, I don't even think it's a lie. I don't even think it's like they're fronting that they have so much more money than they really have, or that they, have a more exciting life than they have. I think it's just confidence. I think it's just like this portrayal of a life where they have it all together. Yeah, and I think that in many ways, in ways that they don't show to other people, they very much do not have it all together. In fact, I think they have it very little together. I don't even think it's even approaching the same universe as it all together. I think it's like they have like 5% of it together, but they have enough together at any one given time that they can sort of project an image of having things under control. And yeah, with this spark, I do think that there is the obvious meaning of that there is a spark between the two of you that is creating all of these thoughts and setting off this whole situation. But also there's this song that just echoed through my head, which I am taking the meaning of it in this context as being very different than the meaning of the original intent of the song. But so I was raised in a faith tradition, and there's this song that we used to sing at church camp. It only takes a spark to get a fire burning. And so I think that, I mean, it has a very sweet melody. The intent of that song is that, you know, you don't need to start the whole fire of whatever, like, sort of good social movement that I mean, they're talking about evangelism, but you can broaden the meaning to be like social good in general, but that all you need to do is light the spark, and then other people take up the work, and that's how the flame spreads. But in this instance, I think that they are afraid that any little tiny spark of truth, like any little hint of a crack in their facade, is going to erupt into this giant forest fire that just like burns it all down. And yeah, and you're going to see that inside they're really just like a burned out husk. Now, I am representing their like deepest fear point of view about themselves. This is, I mean, we've all been there, right? Laying in bed at night, thoughts spinning, hamster wheel time. Like, we don't have the best image of like, it's our deepest insecurities that come out during that time. So I'm not saying like, oh, spoiler alert, your person is terrible. No, not at all. They have some insecurities, and they mask them very well during the daytime, but in the nighttime, they are kind of plagued by the idea that you might see them for who they really are. And to their way of thinking, that would begin a forest fire that burns down this beautiful dream that they are experiencing right now. But here's the thing, with this last card being Law of Attraction, it says we attract what we are. Use the Law of Attraction to manifest your perfect match by being the perfect match to yourself first. So I really think that this is the work that they need to do. I honestly think this is why things have been rocky, or things have been hot and cold, or things have been slow moving, or things have been however the energy is manifesting in your individual connection. This is why, because they are trying to attract you because you are what they want, but the universe doesn't give us what we want. The universe gives us what we are. And so they need to become the person that they present to the world, which I honestly don't think is that much of a stretch. I think they present this version to the world because that is what they are working to be. And so I think they just need some more time to let that kind of get down deep inside of them. And once they fully embody that, I think that is going to be the true spark that lights the fire between the two of you. Yeah, and then they won't be tangled up in these insecurities and imposter syndromes. The two of you will be tangled up with each other. And okay, I was gonna make a body joke there, but this is not an 18 plus reading, so insert dirty joke here about being tangled up with each other. But yeah, and then this protective energy that is not going to need to be used to protect their, like, you know, what they view as this faux facade of confidence, they can then turn toward protecting this precious connection between the two of you and protecting you. Yeah, it's really about their self-image. That is what needs to shift. But like I said, I feel like it's very much on the way. I feel like they have already started to envision themselves as this person, but it's still, I feel like, in the corner of their mind that they save for fantasies. Like, wow, maybe I could be a person that commits. Maybe I could be a person that someone else could trust. And I think that, yeah, I think that this connection, this spark between the two of you has caused an awakening in the progression of their self-concept, because where I feel like it was very far away in their mind's eye before, like this, oh, maybe one day I could be this awesome, upstanding person. I think that it has progressed now to more of a, hey, maybe I actually could be worthy of pile one. Maybe I actually could be worthy of being pile one's person. And so that, I think, feels much closer. I feel like it's gone from this kind of wistful energy to this, like, I don't feel like they've embodied it yet, and I don't feel like they fully view it as possible yet, but more like, yeah, okay, so I don't know if you ever watched The Biggest Loser. It's a problematic show for many reasons, but one thing that used to happen fairly often with the contestants is there would be a mental turning point mid-season where you could see that something happened that showed them, like, they went from being like, oh my God, maybe I really could get in shape. Like, maybe that really could happen too. At some point in the season, something would happen and they would be like, oh no, this is happening. I am doing this. Like, it was just a complete mental shift from this, like, oh, maybe this really could happen, that would be amazing, to like, no, this is happening. Like, we are doing this. And without fail, their progress would skyrocket, because like with so many things in life, it's all a mental game. And I think the same thing is true. I think that's the transition that this person is in right now. They have always wanted to be this kind of person that could be worthy of someone like you. But now that you are an actual you, it has triggered this mental shift toward like, oh no, we are doing this. I am going to become this person that is worthy of pile one's affections. And I think that they're in that process right now. I don't think they're fully there yet, but I would call it like closer than not. Yeah, I mean, the Hermit, if you haven't heard from them recently, this could be why. I mean, this could be the reasoning behind a lot of hot and cold energy between the two of you, when you'll like not hear from them for long periods or get sporadic responses and you're like, oh, I guess they lost interest. No, they are guarding their energy because they're in an up-leveling phase. And I do feel like your energy is disruptive to them. And I don't say that as an insult at all. I mean, if anything, it's a compliment. Yeah, I mean, with the Five of Wands, I think this is not an easy path for them. I mean, isn't that always the way though? When we try to ascend, our past self comes up and just tries to like, it's like that, oh God, what is the movie? It's like Goodfellas maybe, or one of the Godfathers, where it's like, as soon as I got out, they pulled me back in. And yeah, I mean, our old self can kind of be like the mob sometimes. Like, we try to leave and they're like, nope, not today. So yeah, with this Hermit, I mean, it's a process of becoming stronger than the energies that are trying to drag us back down. And that can be a very tough process, depending on how deeply ingrained those past energies of you're unworthy, you mess everything up, there can be very deep self-concept woundings that are really hard to overcome. But with this Two of Swords, I mean, I think that really, it kind of drives home the idea that it is a choice. And I think that it is very apropos that this reading is what is your person's late night thoughts of you, because I mean, look at how cyclical this is. It's like the hermit. They're like, yes, I'm gonna ascend. I'm gonna get strong. I'm gonna, go into like training mode. Like this is an Olympic event of their spiritual growth. But then they get sucked back down again. But then they're like, no, they're recommitting to their decision. They're like, no, we're doing this. And I think that in many cases at night is when we make these decisions of like, okay, today was a mother freaking nightmare. Tomorrow is going to be better. I'm going to do better tomorrow. And I mean, half the time that's true and half the time that's not. But if we didn't have those moments at night where we're like, tomorrow I'm gonna do better, we would never have a day where we did better. And really the ultimate goal is just stringing as many of those do better days together as possible. And I think they're doing that. I really think they're doing that. I think they're ready for a breakthrough, to tell you the truth. I think they're close. Yeah, it's interesting because judgment can often represent like this big, large decision and also decisions that other people make about us. So I feel like the Two of Swords are like the small daily decisions that they need to make in order to gear up to be worthy of this judgment that they feel is coming. I feel like when they feel ready to stand up in front of any person or panel that might pass judgment on them, and they're like, yes, I am an open book. Take a look. Oh my God, reading rainbow. Like, I'm a poet and I didn't know it. That's really funny. But yes, when they feel ready to just bare their soul to anyone, good and bad, the pretty and the ugly together, that's when there will be this true turn, this true spark. And like I said, I think what they're going to find out is that all of this, what I was about to say it was wasted. That's very much not true. Like they're going to be, first of all, like the levels of cortisol coursing through their system on a daily basis from trying to hide like this deep, dark self that they feel like everyone would hate if they saw it. I mean, that's got to be insane. It's got to be just so intense. And so they're going to be free from that, from this kind of feeling like they've got a sword hanging over their head all the time. If their friends knew, if you knew, if pile one knew, oh my God, what they were really like. But wasted in the sense that I think once they reveal their true self to you, warts and all, once they've built up the confidence to show that to you, be like, you know what, this is me, take it or leave it. I think you're going to be like, yeah, take it 100%. I've been waiting for you to be real with me. I've been waiting for you to be authentic with me. I think that it's going to melt you, honestly. I think it's going to be the biggest bonding experience that the two of you could possibly have. So that's what I think they're going to realize has been wasted, is all the fear that they put into thinking that people would judge them so harshly if they showed their true self, as if all of us are perfect. But isn't that what we all believe though? Is that everybody else is walking around so put together, and if they saw the actual mess that we are underneath it all, they would look down on us. But literally every person is walking around thinking that. So yeah, they are coming around. They are going through a profound internal shift right now. And you can honestly, I think, feel really honored and really proud that you are the one that has sparked this, because they are going to be so free and happy. And like, look at the sun shining down on this judgment card when they don't care what people think of them. There's a freedom in that cannot be quantified. Actually, this reminds me, I just talked to a friend of mine this morning that I haven't talked to for a while. And he went on this reality show. He was not the person that was on the reality show, but his stepdad was on the reality show, but he went on to, like, they set up a whole, like, reconciliation storyline with his stepdad. And a lot of reality shows are very fake. This particular storyline was very real. And, like, the lightness that he has after that reconciliation, the just brightness in his eyes, I would never have described him as a person carrying a burden, or like that he had this 10 of wands before. He never came off to me like that before. But to talk to him afterwards, he just radiates lightness and brightness, because there's not kind of this conflict, this like low grade hum of anxiety and burden and worry and just cortisol in his life. And it was palpable in his eyes, his bearing, his demeanor, his energy when you would talk to him after this big kind of life relationship had been resolved and reconciled. And I think that that's going to be a similar shift that happens here. And I think it's going to be so beautiful because I think you're going to have a front seat view. What is with all I can't even call them malapropisms, because they're not even words that I'm coming out with, but just I'm getting phrases wrong. Pile one, I'm getting them wrong. Maybe that's something this person does. But you are going to have a front seat view to this transformation. You are going to see this lightness and brightness come over them. And I think you have real love for this person. And I think that that is just going to fill your heart when you see that. And then I think a real benefit of that as well is that the two of you are really going to have a very beautiful bond, and one that is not forged out of trauma or shared trauma, but one that is forged out of a shared sense of overcoming. I think that that is something that you have in common. I think that maybe even knowing things that you have overcome is what has made this person believe that they are capable of overcoming. And yeah, this is so beautiful. Wow, pile one. You are a powerful muse, I have to say. That's pretty awesome. Let's get some channeled messages. I knew it wasn't meant to be like this. Yeah, I think that they have always sensed that. I mean, that's kind of what imposter syndrome is, right? Is like, I am in a place in life that I am not really capable of sustaining, and people are going to find out. I will love you until I am old and gray. Come on now. I wish I could turn back time. I mean, isn't that always the way? When we accomplish something so big and huge, and in the spirit realm, they're doing nothing but cheering for us and so proud of us and so amazing, but we'll still find a way to criticize ourselves for it. We're like, why did it take so long? I could have had this person. We could have been in union all along. But yeah, I think that just goes to show also that shadow work is ongoing. I wish you peace, happiness, and love. I mean, I think they wish that for you, and it's what they honestly really need as well. But right now they are in a mental place where it's like, they honestly kind of value you more than they value themselves. So they wish it for you. Yeah, I have loved you all along. Aw. I am learning to open my heart. That's exactly what this judgment card is. when they can open their heart so freely and be like, this is who I really am, that's going to be the turning point. Yes. I see my future when I look into your eyes. Yeah, look how this spark, this word spark, is the only one that's not covered by the cards that were dealt out over it. It's the only one that's still sticking out from the oracle cards. And yeah, they see the spark. They see just the beginning of the hope that they can be worthy of a future with you. Why do I keep messing things up? I mean, yeah, this is about, wow, that is actually one of the things that I channeled, that they have low self-esteem about, that they have voices that are in their head telling them, like, you always mess things up. Yeah, I think that's one of the things that they need to overcome. That's one of the things that they are working on. I'm realizing your love was holding me together. Yeah, that's going to be another real turning point for them, ascension-wise, is when they recognize that they want your love, they love your love, but they don't need your love in order to survive. When they are a fully cohesive person on their own, and they just want you, not need you, that's going to be a real turning point as well. This is headed in such a good direction, pile one. To tell you the truth, like, this is very beautiful. It probably is frustrating for you to be able to, I think you see the potential through the facade. You see that they are, like, the facade looks great, but what they are underneath is so beautiful, so spectacular, so special. And I think it's probably really frustrating to you to be in this holding pattern where they just won't open up. But this is heading in such a good direction. And with as much love as I sense that you feel for them, I mean, you can really take a lot of credit for this. They are going to have a better life for the rest of their life because of the way that you have come in and sparked a change in them. And that is honestly one of the best gifts that anyone can give to someone they love. And I love this for you, and I love this for them. Yeah, let's get some letters, numbers, and charms. And if this is something that is resonating with you, I would love it if you would leave a comment below and tell me how. If you would like, if you would subscribe, all of those things are so helpful to facilitating channel growth, and I would just appreciate it so much. A couple fell out. Here we go. All right. Oh, look at this. Truth. Yeah, we're missing one T, but I mean, yeah, truth. Truth, authenticity, realness. That is what they are working toward. That is, oh, DWI, driving while intoxicated. So maybe they've gotten a DWI. Maybe that's something that they're kind of ashamed of. Maybe that's just meant to indicate substance issues in general. Let's see. Out. Okay, so yeah, maybe this involves LGBTQIA plus issues. Maybe they need to come out. Maybe that's something they need to be authentic about. Okay, with BUT, yeah, I do feel like they probably have a lot of excuses, constant excuses about how, like, they know they need to be more authentic, but today's not the day, that kind of thing. Let's see, what else? Yeah, worth, their self-worth. That is definitely what this is about. Okay, with IUD, that tells me that if pregnancy is not in the cards, whether, if this is a connection where the two people involved have the anatomy that could result in a pregnancy, and if the pregnancy is not in the cards, then definitely take precautions. Let's see. Yeah, and then worst as well. We don't have the S, but I'm seeing worst. Yeah, I think they have such a, what's the word? I'm thinking demented, but it's not demented. It's not perverted, but it's like, I'm going to think of the word as soon as this reading is over, but they have like a very skewed version of their self-image. I think they look at themselves as being like so much more horrible than they in actuality are. Look at this. So the numbers that we got are 5, 5, 2, and 9. So these can be like engram numbers. These can be birth month, birth date, birth year. It can be addresses. It can be just any numbers that are significant in any way. But yeah, 5 and 5 are both numbers that have strong connotations of, well, both numbers. They are the same numbers. So yeah, I would guess anything that's true for one is true for both. But yes, they have 5 has strong connotations of change, and there's so much change happening in this connection. Okay, let's pull some zodiac signs. Whoa, a lot came out. Okay, we've got Capricorn, Virgo. I mean, honestly, I have to tell you, so I know a lot of Virgos. My mom is actually a Virgo. And yeah, the idea of just like, I'm not good enough because I'm not perfect. That's pretty on brand for a Virgo. Taurus, Libra, and Scorpio. Yeah, with these glasses, I mean, to me, this is like Clark Kent's glasses. And he was like, yes, let me just put on a pair of thick-rimmed glasses. Nobody will ever recognize that I'm Superman. They changed my whole face. And I mean, the crazy thing about that is that he was right. But yeah, but just the idea of a disguise, of having a disguise. And then we've got a wrench. So to me, that is putting in the work. Yeah, your person is putting in the work. Look, we've got the little kissing children couple, which tells me like your souls have known each other forever. This is 6 of Cups stuff. This is soulmate stuff. That's very beautiful. Yeah, with this fairy, I mean, to me, that is a lot of the same energy as Spark. They view you as being very magical. Okay, this spider web tells me that maybe something important is going to happen, you know, in October or Halloween. Okay, so with this, oh my God, what are the flying horses called? This is crazy. What are the flying horses called? No, not centaurs. They're not unicorns. Okay, Melanie, why are words so hard for me right now? At any rate, just another magical creature, and then we've got another fairy here. We've got 3 fairy. Like, this charm pull is so freaking heavy on magical creatures, you guys. Like, this person thinks that you are just like, yeah, look at this, that you are royal, that you are magical, that you are, yeah, look at this with this key that you, and I think that it's more than they think you're the key to them changing and leveling up. You actually were the key to setting off this chain reaction. We have fake teeth, which actually is really interesting because it ties in both to the idea of a disguise and to Halloween. So maybe Halloween, ironically, is going to be a time when they drop their disguise, pile 1. That's really funny. Yeah, and look at this chameleon. Yes, they really try to change to fit the surrounding circumstances. But yeah, I think that they are going to show you their true self. And I mean, I gotta say, it could really be around Halloween time that final, like, reveal happens where they really just, like, open up and show you their true heart. I think that I'm feeling more like it really could happen at Halloween, not just because of the charms, but because my weird brain, kind of how I liked that all the tarot decks started with tarot of the, like, that just my weird ADHD brain. I'm like, oh, a pattern. I love it. But I just really like the humor, the whimsical nature of dropping the disguise at a time of year that everyone else is putting one on. I just love that. And then finally, with this oversized heart, I think that really indicates that, yeah, their love for you is bigger than other loves they've felt in the past, bigger, so much bigger that they are actually inspired to grow because of it. Something that I don't think it's that nobody else was, like, worth it. That's a narrative that gets put out a lot, is like, nobody was ever worth settling down for, but you were. And yeah, and it's kind of like a movie and book thing. And I don't think that it's necessarily that. I think it's more like you are the first person who started to make them believe that they even could. And while that may not have the same sort of Hollywood ring to it, it's actually like 20 times more profound. And I really can't stress enough, pile 1, how this is a gift that you have given to this person. You have made their life better, and it's really beautiful. Wow, okay, so that is what I have for you, pile 1. So again, if this is something that resonated with you, I would love to hear about it in the comments. I do have them set to where I have to approve them, but I try to go in fairly often and do that. And yeah, I would just really love to hear more details about your story. But yeah, if this is something that resonated with you and helped you in any way, I would love it if you would like and subscribe. Join me again here for another reading in the future. And I am going to wrap this up by telling you that you are loved, you are worthy, and you are enough. Okay, bye, pile 1. Hello, pile 2. If you chose the Tarot of the Lantern Path or this really beautiful piece of Sunset Sodalite, then you have arrived at your reading. Let's dive in. So, Spirit, tap me into the energy of what pile 2's person is hiding when they can distract themselves from it. What are the thoughts that pile 2's person has about them only at night when all the distractions are gone and when the truth becomes a lot more clear? What are those thoughts? Okay, pile two. Wow, this is some very strong energy. So first of all, the first thing that occurs to me is that the very first two cards that came out, the key and the mic time here. Actually, that makes me think that like we've got K-E as the first two letters of key, and then Mike is a homonym for Mike, the name. So maybe Mike or Michael is a name that means something in this connection. But both of these, the key and the mic, are both kind of long phallic symbols. So yeah, I think that this person has some serious Wands energy for you. The fact that this is reconciliation, this card talks about reconciliation coming out right next to fear, does make me think that either this is an ex or maybe you're just going through like a time of conflict or a turbulent time. Or if this is a hot and cold cycle, maybe you're in a cold part of that cycle right now. It does also strike me as significant that we've got the two energies of joy and fear that have presented as like this tug of war or this teeter-totter on either side of the mic time card, which makes me think that this person recognizes that whether they experience joy or whether they experience fear largely has to do with the words that they say to themselves. And actually, as I'm saying that sentence, as it came to a conclusion, I was like, oh no, they don't recognize that. That's what's happening, but they don't recognize it. Yeah, so yeah, I feel like this person talks themselves out of things. They start in a place of joy and then they talk themselves into a place of fear. I think that they really they are adept at shutting this out during the day. Maybe they have a very busy life. Yeah, with this key, they might be someone that is very dependent on in their friends and family circle, in their work situation. Like they may be sort of the key that a lot of projects hang on, or a lot of interpersonal relationships hinge on. They may be kind of the person that everyone has in common, or the person that needs to approve things, or they take the lead on things. So yeah, I do think that during the day they are able to shut out. I mean, I don't say this to hurt your feelings at all, pile two, but I think they are largely able to shut out thoughts of this connection altogether because they have the distractions available to them. But at night, that is not the case. And I feel like maybe this starts with dreams about you. Yeah, and maybe even not fully asleep dreams, but I think maybe you and thoughts of like holding you and maybe doing more than holding you pop into their mind when they're about to drift off, where they're in that kind of alpha state, half awake, half asleep. And I'm just like, I'm feeling the physical feeling in my arms of just floating on a cloud, just so filled with bliss and like it's a very beautiful feeling. I kind of want to pause the reading here so I can just kind of sit in this energy for a little bit before we go on, because I think what happens is the energy is so strong that it brings them back to wakefulness, and that's when they start talking themselves into this fear state. Oh, pile two could never feel that way again, or oh, it's pointless to even think about pile two anymore. They're so pissed at me, or whatever their individual fears are in your connection. And I mean, this is a collective reading, so it's going to be different for every single person as far as like the details of exactly exactly what they did to piss you off. Yeah, but that's the core of it. That they start out with just these beautiful sunshine, flowers, rainbows, lollipops, floating on a cloud, fantasies that come to them. I think their defenses are so far up that this isn't even thoughts that they have about you at night when they're not distracted. They actually have to start falling asleep before the thoughts can even come in. That's how guarded they are. But then when their defenses start to drop in that moment when they are about to fall asleep, the beautiful thoughts of you do come in. Yeah, the art on this joy card does make me think that perhaps this is a pile that has a higher percentage of LGBTQIA plus people in it, which that could be part of the fear if they are in a situation where it's not safe to make that publicly known, and reconciling with you would make that known in some way. Yeah, it's easy to believe that in 2023, safety situations around being your true self don't exist anymore, but sadly they still do. And that is really, truly horrible. And if anyone listening to this is in that situation, my heart really goes out to you, and I hope that you know that there are supports out there and there are places where you can express yourself, anonymously or in spaces that are digital and so would not involve anyone who could make your situation unsafe, but you can absolutely find support and acceptance and celebration of your true self and who you actually are. Yeah, this 17 is making me think like a lot of what the age 17 is about is that you are almost free. You are almost independent. You are almost in control of your own destiny. And I think that that is true here. I'm not saying this person is literally 17 years old, but I think the metaphor applies. They are almost free. They are almost, they are almost in charge of themselves. They are almost in control of their own life. Yeah, so maybe they're exiting a marriage or something like that. Like maybe they're exiting some sort of like constricting financial situation that they are almost disentangled from, but not quite. There's just that one little last part to go. So, that could also be a reason why they are so resistant to thinking about you, because it hurts so much. Because they view it as being representative of a joy that they cannot have, because they are still somewhat entangled with someone who is controlling them in some way. Yeah, but it's too strong. It comes through as soon as their defenses start to drop. It comes through. Yeah, I actually just saw an image of this key like just stabbing into someone's gut. So yeah, I think that it's a bittersweet joy that they feel when they think about you, because I think your energy brings them so much happiness, but there is also this very sharp pain that goes along with that happiness, because they can't think about you without feeling the realization that they will never have you. And yeah, maybe they've been entangled in this situation that controls them for so long that they just don't really believe that they'll ever be fully free of it. I mean, I can relate to that. I think all of us can relate to that when a situation has gone on for so long, any situation, it can be a work situation, it can be, like maybe like a physical glow up situation. That happens a lot of times when people undergo a significant physical change, but they still think of themselves as what they looked like before. They haven't psychologically shifted yet. Yeah, anytime that a situation has been persistent for a very long time, even if we can see that the facts say otherwise, we are about to be free of the situation, it can be hard to believe it in our heart. We can just feel like, no, this is just how things are. We'll never be free. I mean, that fear can really get inside. And I think that's also part of what's happened here. So with reconciliation, it says, be open to someone returning and wanting to work things out. It also strikes me that reconciliation in a financial sense means that the total adds up to what it should be. Like, I used to be a bank teller in my younger days. And this was before there was even computer, when we would, now they feed money through a machine and that's how they count their drawer. We would get a total from our manager, because this was how long ago it was. Our manager was the only one that had a computer. And then we had to count down our drawer and make sure that it matched that total. And that's called reconciling, and you reconcile your checkbook. And yeah, reconciling means that the total adds up to what the total is meant to add up to. And so, yeah, that the fact that I thought of a financial meaning of this word, and then, and then financial was one of the things that I said as an example of a way that they could be entangled, a way that they could be not quite free. That does make me think that probably finances play a part in why they, with this mic time, why they haven't spoken up, why they haven't talked about their feelings to you. Because, they're in their life, the total doesn't add up to what it's meant to. They are out of balance right now. Yeah, and with this, like I said, this could be an ex, or this could just be someone that you are angry with right now because again, they're not adding up to what, you sense their feelings in their energy, and yet their actions aren't adding up to what they are supposed to. And that is, you're justifiably frustrated about that. But yeah, I think that, I do think that they are on the way to wanting to reconcile this situation, wanting to be in union. But there's two important steps that need to happen first. They need to get free from whatever the 3D situation is that they are involved in. And then they need to make the psychological shift. Right now, their synapses have worn a path in their brain of going from joy to fear. So then they need to reverse that. They need to very consciously and proactively make their brain constantly, and they need to form a habit of going from fear to joy. So that's the two steps. I feel like they've got a 3D situation they need to become free from, and then they have to make the psychological shift of being free from that situation, because I feel like that situation is going to have a hold on them in their mind and in their spirit and their energy for even longer than it does in the 3D. Oh, that's interesting that I was just talking about how this is a 2-step process, and then we've got the 2 of Pentacles. Yeah, and I do think that they are trying, and then we have, joy and fear set up as this the 2 energies that they're juggling between. And I do, wow, excuse me, sorry about that. And I do think that juggling is a good metaphor for it, even more than a tug of war. Because with a tug of war, it's like you pull back and forth, but then there's one winner and then it's done. With this, I think it's like going back and forth, going up and down. It's much more like juggling. Oh, that's too many, Spirit. That was not the one. That's not the one. Huh. Spirit, bring the last right card out. Make it obvious, please. Yes. Okay, so maybe there could be a kid involved. Yeah, maybe that is a reason why, if they're exiting a marriage right now, maybe that's a reason why it's been a slow exit, or why they feel that their ex still has a financial hold over them. Yeah, maybe there's a child involved. So, yeah, okay, this is really interesting. So with this Three of Cups, I think that you have been a really strong friendship support for them. I think that you have been a real, like, listening ear and supportive shoulder for them. That could be another thing with this mic time, is that they talk to you a lot about stresses and struggles going on in their life. So they could be afraid of losing that support. They could really depend on you in that way. So that could be another thing with the fear there. Yeah, so with the High Priestess, I mean, I do feel like they have been very kind of worn down and beat down by whatever this long-term situation that they have been in that has controlled them, likely financially. I mean, it feels like a bad marriage to me. But I mean, that can also be a work situation. I mean, we spend more time at work than we spend outside of work when it comes to waking hours. So, yeah, I mean, a bad work situation that has control over you in some way, that can feel a lot like a bad marriage. But yeah, so I feel like it has really affected the way that they view their own worth and what they bring to the table. And yeah, with this Three of Cups, I feel like you raise their self-conception. You make them feel good about themselves. But they need to connect with Spirit and begin to view themselves through Spirit's eyes again. They can't depend just on you for their whole, like, validation of their self-concept. I can see why they're afraid to lose you, though. But yeah, if there is a child involved, I mean, that's another reason why they need to ascend and begin to see themselves the way Spirit sees them, as capable, as strong, as so worthy. And with this Six of Swords, I think that is coming. I think that is on the horizon, because with the Six of Swords, I think, yeah, so they are leaving. They are so close to being completely gone from this situation that's controlling them. So the next step is to move up, to move on, to ascend to a place, a situation, a self-concept that does better serve them. And yeah, I think that is, they need it for themselves. They need it for the connection with you. But I think especially if there's a child involved, they need it for their child, because their child deserves a parent who can model to them. You know, kids kids do get a lot of their self-concept from what their parents think about them, but they get a lot of their self-concept from what their parents think about themselves. So that's why you see, when a kid has a parent who's really obsessed with body issues, you'll see kids as young as like 5 or 6 being like, I need to go on a diet. And it's not even because anybody ever told them they need to go on a diet. They see that modeled from the adults in their life. So yeah, this child is depicted as a baby, which makes me think that if there is a child involved, that child is young enough that this person can really turn it around in time to just model like really beautiful self-worth for their own child. Yeah. I know you are thinking about me and it excites me. Yeah, and I'm connecting this to that 3 of Cups. I think they like your attention. And I think that you are probably really complimentary to them. And I think that that feels so good and so warm. I keep thinking about when I first saw you. Oh, I think about you as soon as I open my eyes. Oh my goodness. You'll forever be in my heart. Oh, so beautiful. Well, that's two of these message cards in a row that fell on the floor. I need you in my life again. Yeah, I do think that this is probably a kind of cyclical situation that, yeah, and it might not be cyclical in terms of contact, but it might be cyclical in terms of the connection. Like I feel like they go through periods where they basically just come to you for pep talks. And then there are periods when there's a more sort of equal connection. The thought of you with someone else drives me insane. Yeah, that may be like that key that gets driven into their gut is just, yeah, that thought of, I can't have this person right now. What if they move on? And I think they kind of believe they can't have you ever. I hate this distance between us. It doesn't feel good. I hear a million voices in my head telling me the things I should have said. That's interesting with the million voices telling me the things I should have said when like this very important central oracle card was all about speaking up. Yes, sometimes I stare at my phone and become stuck. Yeah, they want to text you, want to DM you, want to call you. But I feel like finding the words, knowing what to say when they speak up. It is, as they say, an issue. Alrighty, let's get some letters, numbers, and charms. And if this is resonating with you, I would love to hear your story in the comments. I do have the comments set to needing to approve them, but I do make an effort to go in there fairly regularly and do that. So, yeah, I would love to hear more specifics of the details of your situation in the comments. It would mean a lot to me if you would like, subscribe, so it's easier to find when I post new content, and it really helps the channel grow. It helps YouTube let other people know. So yeah, that would be amazing. I would really appreciate it. Okay, Spirit, give me some letters that are going to shed more light on this connection, please. Okay, so we got M, D, L, B, G, K, K. Okay, so there's 2 Ks. Oh, that's my college roommate. That she uses that phrase on text all the time. Like instead of okay, she'll say KK. I'm like, careful, you don't press it a third time. She's like, okay, that's so funny. From her tone sometimes, though, I don't think she actually thinks it's funny, which is weird. Sometimes I think I'm funnier than other people do, but of course I'm right. So BGD, that's making me think background. Yeah, so I think that sometimes this person comes to the forefront. Sometimes they fade into the background. And that has, yeah, it has nothing to do with you. It really has nothing to do with you. LG is making me think of legal. So yeah, I feel like maybe there's some legal proceedings that need to come to a close. Maybe that's what they're waiting on to get like fully and finally disentangled from this situation that has a hold on them. Let's see. There's no vowels. That's really interesting. I often take that as a message in and of itself because vowels are a relatively small part of the alphabet. Of the alphabets. I'm so fancy. But they are more important than their relative size of the alphabet would make you think, because you can't make a word without them, at least in English. So, yeah. Okay, BDLK is making me think bad luck. So I think maybe this person thinks that they are bad luck. Or that they've had so much bad luck, they don't want that to rub off on you. BLD, maybe they're bald. Maybe they're blonde. Yeah, that's all I'm getting from the letters. Let's take a look at numbers. So these can be ages, they can be birth date, birth month, they can be engram, they can be life path, address, just, yeah, any numbers that are significant. Okay, so we've got 9, 4, 7, 3, 0, 6. Okay, so you can also combine these like 69 dudes. Comment below if you know what movie that's from. 47, 30. Yeah, any combination of numbers. Let's pull some zodiac signs. Okay, we've got Virgo, Sagittarius, Aquarius. Yeah, the star. I mean, I do think that they look at you as being the star. So healing, so mesmerizing. Libra and Taurus. Aww, musical connection. So yeah, maybe you met because you have a band that you like in common, or, oh, look, the star. The star came out with Aquarius. That's so cool. So yeah, maybe there's a band that you like in common, or maybe the two of you make music together, or maybe you like send each other like the modern equivalent of mixtapes, so like playlists, or just send each other, you know, like, oh, I thought you would like this song, and send them the YouTube video of the song or something like that. Yeah, with this chameleon, I feel like they are different people in different situations. So a different person to whoever they are entangled with, and then you make them feel like a different person with friends, a different person with family. And I feel like that's out of necessity. I feel like they've done that for survival. So yeah, I think that there's a definite implication there that you are the one who they are going to be able to be fully real with, fully authentic with. Yeah, with this angel, I do think that they think of you as an angel, but I'm also getting like a real thread of protection there. Like they are very protective of you. And yeah, with this bad luck, like if they do consider themselves to be bad luck, that could be a reason why they're holding back, because they don't want that bad luck to rub off on you. Yeah, and look at this with this bear. That also, or is that a tiger or a bear? Either way, honestly, same meaning. Like it's roaring, it's protective. Yeah, if that is meant to be a bear, that actually came out in the oracle cards in pile 1. If you were drawn to pile 1 at all, you might want to check it out. But yeah, I think they are protective of you. They just don't want you to be hurt. Okay, this charm also came out in pile 1. Look at me not Googling what a flying horse is. You know, let me Google it now. What is a flying horse called? Wow, it was Pegasus. Yes, Pegasus. It was pre-populated in the search function though, so I don't feel quite as dumb now. So that was a nice little ego boost. Yeah, and then with this turtle, I do think that you might be frustrated by the slow moving nature of them working out their stuff, both their internal psychological, spiritual stuff, and also whatever this 3D situation is that they're working out. I feel like it's going much closer to a snail's pace than a cheetah. And I can definitely see how that would be very frustrating. But yeah, hang in there, pile 2. Hang in there, because it will be coming around. I feel that the energies are very strongly supporting that it will be coming around. Alrighty, so that is what I have for you. If it resonated, like I said, I would love it if you would subscribe, like, leave me a comment. Not only would I absolutely love to see you again on another day for another reading, but that also just really helps YouTube know to spread this video and helps the channel grow, and I would truly appreciate that. But yes, so I am going to end this by leaving you with the knowledge that you are loved, you are worthy, and you are enough. Yeah, especially I felt it in my chest when I said the part about you are worthy and you are enough. I think that, and my eyes were on the turtle when I said it. So I do think that maybe like the slowness of this connection has been hitting you in the self-esteem arena a little bit. But yes, don't let it. To the best of your ability, please don't let it, because this really has nothing to do with you. The slowness has nothing to do with you. If anything, you are pulling them forward so much faster than anyone else would be able to. So I'm going to go ahead and say that again, because I feel like maybe you need to hear it again, pile 2. You are loved, you are worthy, and you are enough. Okay, bye. Hello, pile 3. If you chose the Tarot of the Cosmic Seed or this gorgeous bloodstone, then you have arrived at your reading. Yes, so let's dive into it. Spirit, tell me, please, what are pile 3's person's late night thoughts of them? What are pile 3's person's late night thoughts of them? Okay, pile 3. So first of all, I want to start out with disorientation and choice. Yeah, I feel like this is significant that we have 2 paths going off in 2 different directions here, and we have a compass rose. So I'm looking at this as signifying more than just you're at a crossroads and you need to choose which path to take. This to me, when combined with disorientation, feels like this person has lost all sense of direction when it comes to you. And I think like Eureka, we have found it. The reason why they attempt to suppress thoughts of you and why they are successful in the daytime. But at night, a time that is like a classic period for people getting lost in the woods because you can't see where you're going, that is when these feelings, these thoughts of you come up, but these feelings accompany it. This feeling of wandering around lost in the dark. Underneath that, I think there is a strong current of synchronicity, that they feel that this was meant to happen, that they do understand that if they were more tuned into spirit would guide them. Because I think that you have dropped into their lap like such a gift, like such an angel, like such a treasure with this crow holding the pearl in its mouth. That they definitely hold a belief that there has to be more meaning to this, that there is something that is significant. There is something more important that they just aren't figuring out yet. But I think that brings its own kind of fear into it. Like, I think that they are extremely nervous about messing up a situation that was given to them like such a precious gift. I think they don't want to, I think they don't want to take it lightly. And they don't want to in any way dishonor the fact that spirit has truthfully just trusted them with this precious, precious treasure that is you and their connection with you. This, I also think, is a situation where they are very afraid of hurting you. Yeah, I think that they're like, I know that I am wandering around in the woods at night. And if I take a sudden dive off of a cliff that I didn't see, that I was close to, or that it even existed, I don't want to take pile 3 tumbling over the edge with me. Yeah, I think that this person is used to being depended on. I think that this person likes to take a strong leadership position. And I also think that this person is a giver. I think this person likes to be the one who helps, not the one who needs to ask for help. Which I think is a factor that is slowing this whole process down. I mean, I think just the fact that they won't face these feelings during the daytime when, there is an opportunity to actually make an appointment with a mental health professional or a faith leader, or support groups are meeting, or, fill in the blank, any way that they could possibly get help and kind of make sense of this and straighten it out. They're forcing themselves not to think about this during those times, and it only comes up at night. It's interesting to me that synchronicity came out with, so it's 333 here, and then the card is numbered 3. And it really is like this little grouping of 3 competing energies that is the core of what's causing all of the inner conflict with them. It's this synchronicity. That's the main hub of the wheel. Yes, with this crow, you are a treasure and you were dropped into their lap unexpectedly. They didn't do anything to earn it. You are a gift. You are a gift, an unexpected and like magical gift. But with disorientation and choice, they don't know how to move forward with that gift. They are out of their depth. They are operating at a level above where they have been trained. Like they have no experience playing in this field. And yeah, it's taking its toll on their mental health. I do think so. But a lot of that might be like, this is the pile out of all the piles that I would see this person as just like tossing and turning all night, unable to get to sleep, sweating maybe. Yeah, this is close to the surface in a way that I would interpret as consuming when it comes up at night. So yeah, a lot of that kind of dysregulated mental health feeling that I'm getting could also be sleep deprivation. It literally could, because yeah, that will make you feel off and make you incapable of making big decisions in a rational, reasonable way, make you incapable of assessing things realistically. Yeah, absolutely. So then we have freedom and love language. Freedom is when we can be our truest selves, we are then able to freely love. Love language is learning and understanding each other's love languages are essential to meet each other's emotional needs. So I do think that with freedom, I think that this person has been in the past in connections where they have been expected to conform to what the other person's idea of them is. And I honestly think they've been kind of happy to do it, because I do think that they are a giver. I think they like making other people happy. So if I can conform to what you think I am, what you need me to be, then that makes you happy. I've done my job. But I also think that it saves them from doing the hard work of figuring out who they are and where they want to go, because they just follow this other person. But that's not you. That's not the case with the connection with you. This connection with you, pile 3, is only going to work if both of you bring not only your A game, but also your authentic selves. They may not know exactly who their authentic self is. So yeah, they may be one of those people who, when you talk about the concept of love languages, they're just like, yeah, I mean, all of those things sound nice. Because I don't think they really know what it is they like. Because I think they're just so used to conforming to other people's idea of them. But I think they're going to learn. I think they're going to have to figure it out. I'm kind of picking you up, pile 3, as a person who is really kind of intensely interested in other people, what makes them tick, their thoughts, their dreams, I think you just have like a fascination in like digging into other people's minds, hearts, souls. Yeah, so maybe you're even like a writer or an artist or a musician or something like that. Or maybe you're a tarot reader. Or like, yeah, maybe you actually look into other people's feelings and thoughts and psyches yourself in this way. But yeah, so because of that, though, I think that a person who's just a shell of conforming, that's not who you're looking for. You want someone who has a strong compass rose. This person has that. But like so many things that in our lives that are shadow work, that would fall under the heading of shadow work, this could have to do with childhood wounding. They may have learned very early on that being easy, being go with the flow, being what everybody else wants you to be, that's the clearest way to survival. And that may have just been a technique that they took with them into adulthood without ever realizing it. And I think it's going to be a difficult thing for them to process when they find out that they don't really know themselves. They don't really even know their true self. I think they're going to need you, pile 3, for that. And I think that you would want to be there. I'm picking up a lot of affection on your end for this person. Like, as I was just saying that thing about that this may be a survival technique that they brought with them into adulthood, I just sort of felt your whole energy going, oh no. Like, you can picture them as that little kid just trying to get by, just trying to get the scraps that they need to survive. And I feel like that breaks your heart. And yeah, I think that you would want to be a healing energy in this person's life. You would want to put in that work. But I think that they don't want you to see that they need that work, if that makes sense. Like, they want to be the leader. They want to be strong for you. They want to give to you. And I think that when they can arrive at a place where, because look at this, understanding each other's love languages is essential to meet each other's emotional needs. When they understand that this is a back and forth, this is balance. This isn't I take care of you and that's how I make myself valuable so you won't leave me. This is the two of you take care of each other. The two of you love each other. That's when they're going to be truly free. That's when they'll truly be able to relax in this connection with you. And I think that's when you'll truly be able to relax as well, because you will know that you have actually seen the real, true, authentic them. And that is the person that loves you. There's no facade there. Because I think you're a person who is uniquely gifted at recognizing facades. And I think that that's been making you nervous about this, I think this is the rare person that it's very difficult for you to see inside their heart and their soul. And I think that this is why. But I think that once you can see inside their true soul, what you're going to find there is going to be every bit as beautiful as you always imagined it would be. And yeah, I think that this is really the start of a very beautiful journey that the two of you are going to take together. And yeah, and you'll be making these choices together. You'll be deciding on the right path together. Yeah, and you're going to be utilizing each other's strengths. And yeah, I'm just like channeling the energy of the two of you being in union. Like, of course it feels sexy. Of course it feels fun. Of course I feel all that love and intensity. But the thing that I feel most of all is just the sigh of relief of it all, the comfort of it all, the safety of it all, the rightness of it all. Like, it's like, it literally is like two puzzle pieces snapping into place. Yeah, and I think it's going to be such a relief to finally have found each other, to finally be navigating life together. Because I think that you already sense that that is what is meant to be. You're just waiting for your person to catch up. And at night, yeah, and I think that it's really interesting that we've got this whole like nighttime star scene on the disorientation card, because yes, nighttime is when all of these disorienting energies come up for them. Oh, am I holding this upside down? I sure am. Yeah, look at that 10 of Cups. Come on now. Yeah, and the 3 of Pentacles, I mean, that is exactly what I was just describing. Working together, being a team, making these decisions together. Yeah, so I'm noticing, so this card, the Ten of Cups, has a lot of flavor of Latin culture on it. And then this card, the Three of Pentacles, has a lot of flavor of Asian culture on it. So that could be something like the two of you could come from very different cultural backgrounds. And so that could also be a very horizon broadening perspectives that you're bringing to each other as well. Alrighty. So yeah, this is interesting to me that we got the Six of Swords, which is an energy of leveling up, of ascending, but it is an energy of going on a journey, which came out right on top of this choice card that talked about navigating. And then it also has a rainbow on it pretty prominently, which is very common iconography that is generally found on the Ten of Cups, although it's not found on this particular Ten of Cups, but it does tie the concept of the Six of Swords and the Ten of Cups together for me in this spread. So yeah, I feel like when they level up, when they are going to this amazing new place, that place is union with you. That place is being together with you, working as a team with you. The Ace of Swords is a new journey, but it also means breakthroughs. It also means clarity. And I think that that's really beautiful, that what the main energy that's coming up for them at night right now is disorientation. And the outcome of this journey is going to be clarity. They are going to be able to see things more clearly than they ever have. And that's because of you. That's because they'll be in union with you and looking at the world through the lens of loving you is maybe the first time in their life that they will ever have really seen things completely clearly. That is very beautiful. Yeah, dragonflies could be an important symbol. Yeah, I'm thinking, so the rainbow kind of made itself significant, and then my eyes are really drawn to this dragonfly as well. So either of those could be important symbols in this connection. Yeah. I'm really drawn to this Three of Coins, so that's making me think that maybe the two of you are going to work as a team in a more literal 3D way as well. So maybe you're going to start a business together. Maybe you're going to have, a podcast together. Maybe you're going to, just something together, something where it's an actual venture that you are launching or working on together. Or maybe you know each other through being on a team in a professional setting, like a work setting. I feel unworthy of your love. Oh, I hate it when that card comes out. I always feel just like this punch in the gut feeling of how sad that person feels to feel like they themselves are unworthy of the thing that they want the most in the world. You are absolutely beautiful in every way. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a real healing process that goes on here with the I feel unworthy of your love. But with this, you are absolutely beautiful in every way. I think that you are going to motivate them to dive into this healing process, but I think that you're going to be there for them through it as well. Yeah, I'm trying to grow spiritually to meet you where you are, coming out right on top of the Six of Swords. Thank you very much. Spirit, come on, you are just showing off now. That is so cool. I need you in my life again. Okay, so you guys this may be cyclical, hot and cold. There are so many things I wish I could change about our time together. Yeah, I mean, that's their main energy right now, disorientation. They are confused. I regret walking away. Okay, so yeah, with I need you again in my life and I regret walking away, you guys could be no contact right now. Okay, please don't hate me for ghosting you. You didn't deserve it. Yeah, I mean, you may have been such a dysregulating influence in their life that they just couldn't handle being around you. So they bounced. They went Casper. Yeah, honestly, I don't want to be in a relationship right now. I don't think that's strictly true. I think they don't feel like they can. I feel like their number one priority is keeping themselves stable. And I think that you are a destabilizing influence. I mean, no shade. That's good, ultimately. They need to be knocked out of their rut. But it's scary. And so I think that they are trying to keep their distance from you so they can remain stable. Maybe this break is for a good reason. Maybe this time apart will help us come back together. 100%. Because they need to do some growth on their own. And I think that you being like this shining star out on the horizon, like this goal that they are working for lack of a better word, not like I think that they depersonalize you as if you're just a prize or a trophy, but just the idea that they could be worthy of you if they do the work. I think that that is what is keeping them going. And I think that when they feel worthy enough, like they're not all the way there, but they feel like they are worthy enough to contact you again, they will contact you because I think they want to bring you in on this. I think they need you, actually. Okay, let's get some letters, numbers, and charms. And if this is resonating with you, please comment down below to tell me how it's resonating. Tell me some more details about your story. I would absolutely love to hear that. I have to have the comments set to where I have to approve them. But I do make an effort to go in and do that fairly regularly. But yeah, also if this is resonating with you, if you would hit the like button, hit subscribe, that'll make it easier to know when I post new content. I would love it if you joined me on another day for another reading as well. But also those signals help the channel grow because it helps YouTube know that these videos should be spread. And so yeah, would absolutely really appreciate that. Okay, duo. The first thing that comes out, like just landing all together, is duo. And then we have power. So this is power couple energy. This is duo energy. This is we belong together energy. Hi, Mariah Carey. Yes. So awesome. Then we have R and K. Yeah, KW is making me think of Keller Williams, the real estate company. So yeah, maybe real estate has something to do with how the two of you know each other, or a project that you had worked together on at one time. RR coming out together is, anytime two letters come out the same, that also gives me matched pair energy. Let's see. Yeah, hour is another thing that is like a group, like something belongs to us together collectively. Okay, pour. That's really interesting to me because on most of the star cards, she's pouring from a jug into the river. And the star is healing energy. And that is a theme that came up very prominently during this reading, is that your energy and your support is really going to assist them on this healing journey that they're on. Okay. So now we are going to pull some numbers. So these can be birth year, birth month, birth date. They can be life path number, engram number, address, anything really. Okay, so we have 1, 8, 4, 4, 4, 3, and 5. And you can combine those as well into like 83, 45, 18. Yeah, 34, just any combination there. Now we are going to pull some zodiac signs. Oh, only 2 came out. So we've got Sagittarius and Taurus. So those can be signs that are prominent in one or both of your charts, or times of year that important things are meant to happen. Oh, interesting, because I said the dragonfly might be an important symbol, and then we got the dragonfly charm. That is very interesting. We also got the bee charm. And yeah, bees are like, they really have a lot to do with work ethic. And then we got the butterfly charm, which has a lot to do with transformation. Also, with the bee and the butterfly coming out right next to each other, bee could also be an important letter. Okay, so we got, yeah, with this fairy charm, especially sitting in the star, which is healing energy, that is very much like you have sprinkled your magic pixie dust all over them. And then we got another fairy charm, but this time she's sitting in the moon. So yeah, very much like connected in the 5D, in the celestial realm here. Yeah, and with this key, absolutely, you are the key that set off this whole transformation. Yeah, we got this cat charm. So to me, that is handling things gracefully and elegantly. It does sort of remind me of the energy of the star. And I think that that is how they look at you, as royal, elegant, graceful. Yeah, and with this perfume, I think that, yeah, so there is... I was raised in church, and so a lot of the symbolism that pops into my mind is from that church background. And so there is a lot of symbolism about aroma being very like a balm to your soul. And so I think that that's what this is. It's like you are a sweet, sweet smell to them. You are this calming, peaceful balm to their soul. And then finally, with the oversized heart, yeah, I think that the love that they have for you is on a scale that is larger and more powerful than they have felt before. Right now, they are experiencing that as a destabilizing, dysregulating, disorienting force. But when they become balanced, they will experience it as the greatest joy they've ever known, as the 10 of Cups. All right, so that is what I have for you, pile 3. And again, if it resonated, I would love it if you would hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let me know in the comments how it resonated. I would love to see you back on another day for another reading. But I am going to end by letting you know that you are loved. You are worthy and you are enough. Okay, bye. Hello, everybody. So yes, I want to go through what decks were used in this reading. If that's something that interests you. So first, the tarot decks. This is Tarot of the Divine. Yeah, and if you're just starting out reading tarot, this is a deck that you can get on Amazon for $20. It doesn't have to be prohibitively expensive to get into reading tarot. I know sometimes it can be intimidating because a lot of like the really awesome, really beautiful decks, you know, they can cost like $80, $100 just for one deck. And then you see people on YouTube that have these huge collections of decks, but it really doesn't have to be that way. And in fact, at some point I may do a reading just with all decks that I got for under $20. But yeah, on Amazon, that deck is usually about $17. So it would be a really beautiful starter deck if you're drawn to it. It's one of my favorite decks. Okay, so then we have Tarot of the Lantern Path. Another one. I mean, like, I feel like every single deck that I use, I would be like, this is one of my favorite decks because they're all, God, I love tarot decks. But yeah, this is a particularly gorgeous one. Okay, and then we have, adding to the list of some of my favorite tarot decks, Tarot of the Cosmic Seed. Up, holding it upside down. Yeah, this is a really, I love the way that this deck, the colors are so saturated, and also it incorporates so many diverse figures and so many cultural influences. It's just, yeah, it's a really powerful deck. So gorgeous. Okay, so now for Oracle cards. So this is the Journey Oracle by I'm Not Tangled, spelled with a K, on Etsy. Okay, this is the Natural Adventures Oracle. It's one that I love because not only does it have a lot of really unusual energies in it that you don't find in a lot of other Oracle decks, it's got a ton of LGBTQIA plus representation, which I find really powerful, and that is a group that is overlooked in a lot of Oracle decks. Okay, I seriously need to go through and straighten out this Oracle deck. It's like half of them are upside down, half of them are flipped around. Come on, Melanie, get it together. Okay, then we have the Pixie Oracle by Mary Evans of Spirit Speak. Okay, then we have the Midnight Oracle by Sharon Julian at Midnight Oracle on Etsy. Again, I mean, this one, I don't even have to say it's one of my favorites because you can tell how well worn it's getting around the edges. It is just such really beautiful art and just really deep symbols. I absolutely love it. Okay, and then we have the Black Hollywood Romance Stars by Queen Sugar. It's sort of a visual homage to the Romance Angels by Doreen Virtue. But I absolutely love, first of all, the energies that are included, but also the writing in the blurbs, I think just brings really interesting perspectives to those energies. And also the art is, so as you may have noticed, even just already in this little deck recitation, I am super into the art on tarot and oracle decks. And so, yeah, the art is always going to be something that draws me to a deck. So this is the Magic Potion channeled messages. And then this is the Love Notes No Communication Edition, also by Queen Sugar, who did the Black Hollywood Romance Stars deck. I actually have several other of her decks as well. She's like a really great deck creator. All right, so that is the decks. Again, I hope to see you on another day for another reading, or hey, even today for another reading. That would be great. So I am going to end this again by letting you know that you are loved, you are worthy, and you are enough. Okay, bye.